is Trivia for Kids, where it's not just for adults anymore.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 76 of Trivia for Kids, the podcast. My name is Casey.
Mine's Ren.
And we are happy to be with you today. Thank you for joining us. Ren, the summer is coming to a close and school is starting in a couple of weeks. That was a big yawn. Are you tired?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. So anyway, what's going to happen when school starts? Are you going to be like wide awake, ready to go every morning? Or are you going to be like, oh, zombie?
Probably a zombie.
You think so? You're not going to be like bouncing out of bed like, I can't wait for school to start. This is so awesome.
No, I'm not going to be like that.
Are you excited for school though?
Yes.
And what grade are you going to be in this year?
5th.
The big 5th grade. That's a big deal. You're going to start doing, well, last year is when you kind of started changing classrooms and going to different teachers. But this year, you are really going to be moving around to different teachers all day long. What do you think? You think you like that better, or do you like being with one teacher all day?
I think I'll like it better.
Yeah? Get a little variety throughout your day?
Yeah.
What are you going to miss the most about summer, though?
Getting to do stuff in the morning.
Yeah. Just being able to kind of laze around during the mornings. Yeah, you guys do like that. Well, I'm sorry. All good things must come to an end, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but school's going to be great too. You like school, so I'm excited for you to go back. How about some jokes to cheer you up after that?
Okay.
Ready? So our first joke comes from Hannah. Thanks, Hannah. Why did the seagull fly over the sea?
Because if he flew over the bay, he'd be a bagel.
That's right. I love that joke.
I told everyone that I know that joke.
It's you knew it. If he flew over the bay, he'd be a bagel. That's all. I love bagels. Our next question comes from listener Gentry. Thank you, Gentry. What kind of key opens a banana? A monkey.
Oh.
Good one. And our last question comes from listener Shaw. Thank you, Shaw. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Whale.
Whaloo.
Whale, whale, whale. I wonder what we are going to talk about on this week's podcast. That was even a podcast joke. Thanks, Shaw. All right, Ren. Ready to get fired up?
Yes.
Boy, you sound like it.
Here's how the show works. Trivia for Kids consists of 5 rounds with 7 questions each. We will announce the answers at the end of each round. Each new round will have a different category. After the 5th round, we will have the final exam, which will test you on the toughest questions we have covered in the previous rounds. Everyone ready? Let's get started.
Round 1. The category is animals. Question 1. Thanks to Lily for the idea. Thanks, Lily. True or false? Wolves howl most during full moons. Question 2. The prints of what part of a gorilla's body are as unique as human fingerprints? Question 3. Thanks to Hannah for this one. Thanks, Hannah. Which is the only type of bird that can fly backwards? Question 4. Thanks to Bryson for this one. Thanks, Bryson. What unique type of Mexican salamander has pink skin, a frilly headdress, and can regrow multiple body parts, including its limbs and internal organs such as the brain, lungs, and even heart? Question 5. What type of deer are the only ones where females regularly grow antlers like the males? Question 6. Thanks to Kaylee for this one. Thanks, Kaylee. What animal comes in types, including bat-eared, crab-eating, swift, and silver? Question 7. Thank you to listener Amori for this one. Thank you. Unlike hermit crabs, what slimy creatures have a shell that grows with them as they get bigger? And now the answers to round 1. Question 1, true or false? Wolves howl most during full moons.
True?
It's false. It is actually a myth that wolves howl at the moon. Howling may be heard at night, but it is not a behavior directed at the moon. Instead, it is used as a social rally call, a hail to hunt, or to let other wolves know where their territory is. So it's just sort of like wolves howl at night, and so it might seem like they're howling at the moon, but they're really not. That's just the time that they howl. So,
Okay.
Cool.
Sweet.
Question 2. The prints of what part of a gorilla's body are as unique as human fingerprints?
Hands and feet?
Good guess. It's actually their nose. You know how gorillas have kind of like a curly, heart-shaped kind of nose that
Yeah.
every gorilla's nose is different? I did not know that. Cool. Question 3. Which is the only type of bird that can fly backward?
I don't know, a hummingbird?
It is a hummingbird. One of the reasons hummingbirds can fly backwards is because of the way that they flap their wings. Average hummingbirds have a unique way of flying called figure-8 flight. Most birds move their wings in a basic up and down motion, but hummingbirds move their wings 180 degrees from their shoulders. So they kind of move it in a circle versus up and down, which then allows them to move forward or backward.
That's cool.
Groovy. I love that. Question 4. What unique type of Mexican salamander has pink skin, a frilly headdress, and can regrow multiple parts of its body, including its limbs and even its internal organs, such as brain, lungs, and its heart?
At first you said it was pink. I thought it was like a frog or something. But then you lost me.
I said a salamander, if that gives you a hint.
No, still don't know it.
It's an axolotl.
Oh, I should have known.
Axolotls can grow basically all their body parts, including their brain and heart. I think most salamanders, I had read that they could regrow like limbs. So like arms, legs, tails, those sorts of things. But a lot of them can grow body parts too. Is that crazy?
Uh-huh.
What if humans were like that? What would you need doctors for, right?
Yeah.
Well, probably still a lot of stuff. Question 5. What type of deer are the only ones where females regularly grow antlers like the males?
I know this one. I was just watching a show yesterday.
Caribou or reindeers?
Hey, oh my word.
So I wonder if any of Santa's reindeers are girls. Because they all have horns, you know. I bet like Vixen, that's kind of a girl's name. Wait, is Vixen one of them? Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen. Yeah. Comet, Cupid could be a girl. Dancer could be a girl. I mean, any of them could technically be a girl. I'm just trying to think of any of their names that are more like feminine sounding, but maybe some reindeers or maybe Rudolph's a girl. If you watch the show though, he's a boy. But question 6. What animal comes in types including bat-eared, crab-eating, swift, and silver?
Bat.
It is a fox. There are 12 true species of fox, but roughly 23 different types of foxes. So there are a lot of different types of foxes besides the common red fox like we see. Question 7. Unlike hermit crabs, what slimy creatures have a shell that grows with them as they get bigger?
Snail?
Yep, snails. Their growth begins while they are still inside of the egg, and when they are born, they already have their shells. To make their shells strong, snails are constantly in search of calcium-rich food sources to produce a strong and sturdy shell for their fragile bodies to grow into.
That's cool.
That is so cool. So if you opened a snail shell, or a snail egg, they'd already have their shell. I think that's so cool. Round 2. The category is science. Question 1. Thank you to listener Drake for the idea. Thanks, Drake. What is a facility that provides controlled conditions in which scientific research, experiments, and measurements can be performed? Question 2. What is the process called when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly? Question 3. True or false? All living things need water to survive. Question 4. What instrument is used to examine objects that are too small to be seen by the naked eye? Question 5. What word can you use to describe when a solid turns into a liquid? Question 6. True or false? Sound travels faster in air than in water. Question 7. Discovered by Alexander Fleming, what medicine is used to treat infections and is considered one of the most important discoveries in the field of medical science? Round 2 answers. Question 1. What is a facility that provides controlled conditions in which scientific research, experiments, and measurements may be performed?
A lab.
It is a lab or a laboratory. So Drake, who had this question idea, is our cousin, and he works in a lab. And they listen to our podcast while they work in the lab. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So hello, Drake, and all your lab friends. Question 2. What is the process called when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly?
Metamorphosis?
Yes! Metamorphosis. Good job. You're ready to start science again. Question 3. True or false? All living things need water to survive.
True?
Yes, it is true. So you think of people and animals and plants and
Trees?
everything needs water. It's true. Question 4. What instrument is used to examine objects that are too small to be seen by the naked eye?
Microscope.
Correct. The image of an object is magnified through at least one lens in the microscope. This lens bends light toward the eye and makes the object appear larger than it actually is. We would also accept the answer of magnifying glass because that makes things larger too. But I was kind of looking for a microscope.
Sweet.
Do you like to look at things through a microscope? Have you got to do that in science where you can look at like amoebas and...
No, I've never looked at any.
Oh, really? Oh, they're cool. I bet you're going to do that when you get a little older. Question 5. What word can you use to describe when a solid turns into a liquid?
I don't know, melting?
Yes! I was going to give you a hint of the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm melting. Question 6, true or false? Sound travels faster in air than in water.
True?
It's false. Sound travels faster in water. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Question 7, discovered by Alexander Fleming, what medicine is used to treat infections and is considered one of the most important discoveries in the field of medical science?
I have no idea.
Penicillin. Have you heard of that before?
No.
In 1928, Dr. Alexander Fleming returned from a holiday to find mold growing on a petri dish of Staphylococcus bacteria. He noticed the mold seemed to be preventing the bacteria around it from growing. He soon identified that the mold produced a self-defense chemical that could kill the bacteria. What a discovery, and what an interesting way to find it. So he just had like a petri dish of bacteria and some mold grew on it, and the mold killed the bacteria. And therefore he thought, if it can do that to the bacteria, I can turn it into a medicine and give it to people, and then it would kill the bacteria in the people.
There's mold in that medicine?
I think a lot of medicines and a lot of things start by accident or start by, pure luck or God being like, let me give you a little help here, scientist. So very cool. Penicillin. Round number 3. The category is Marvel. Thank you to listener Cody for the idea. Thanks, Cody. Question 1. Thor's hammer is made from the metal of a dying what? Question 2. What is the name of the raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy? Question 3. Which Marvel superhero spent 66 years trapped in a sheet of ice? Question 4. Black Panther's suit, Bucky's arm, and Captain America's shield are all made of what material? Question 5. Which eye does Nick Fury wear his eye patch? Question 6. What was the first movie created in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Question 7. In the Disney Plus series, what is the name of Bruce Banner's lawyer cousin that receives his powers due to coming in contact with his blood? Round 3 answers.
Hello.
Since it's a Marvel category, we could not have anybody help us except for...
Me.
Who are you?
Brooks.
Hey, Brooks. How are you today?
Good.
Good. I like hearing your voice. I miss your voice on the podcast. So I try to do a category for you as often as I can. And you love Marvel, right?
Yay.
Who's your favorite superhero these days?
What is your favorite?
Oh, thank you for asking. Who is my favorite? Oh, I just like them all. I think my favorite is Thor.
Captain.
You like Captain America still? Very good choice as well. All right, buddy, you ready?
Yes.
Question 1. Thor's hammer is made from the metal of a dying what?
Star.
Yeah, a dying star. And what is Thor's hammer's name?
Melania.
Mjolnir. That's a crazy, crazy name for Thor's hammer. Question 2. What is the name of the raccoon in the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Rocket.
Rocket Raccoon. Did we just watch the latest Guardians of the Galaxy movie this weekend?
Yes,
Yes.
maybe not.
We did. It was just on Disney Plus, so we had to watch it, even though we'd already seen it in theaters. But we love the Guardians movies, don't we? Question 3. Which Marvel superhero spent 66 years trapped in a sheet of ice?
Captain America.
That is right. Captain America got trapped in ice, and then they found him and they brought him back to life, and he was so confused because it was 66 years later and everything was new, the technology was new, the earth looked totally different. He was just confused, so it took him a little bit to get used to life again. Question 4. Black Panther's suit, Bucky's arm, and Captain America's shield are all made of what material?
I don't know.
The answer is vibranium. Do you remember that now? Millions of years ago, a meteorite made of vibranium, the strongest substance in the universe, struck the continent of Africa, affecting the plant life around it. And when the time of men came, 5 tribes settled on it and called it Wakanda. So remember when we watched Black Panther and they live in Wakanda? And what they do in Wakanda is keep the vibranium safe because it is the most precious metal in the world because it is the strongest substance ever. Question.
What is it? Substance?
What is a substance? It's just a name for what it's made of. So like it's just a metal. It's a substance, like what it is. Question 5. Which eye does Nick Fury wear his eye patch?
Left.
It is his left eye. And do you remember what happened to Nick Fury's eye that he has to wear an eye patch?
Yes.
What happened?
A cat.
A cat scratched his eye. Yes, you're right.
I liked watching that movie.
That was a good movie, wasn't it? I think it was in the Captain Marvel movie that we got to see how he lost his eye. Question 6. What was the first movie created in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Captain America.
That's a good guess because I think Captain America was one of the first ones, time-wise, but the very first movie that they made was Iron Man. And now there are 32 total films and counting. That's a lot of Marvel movies. Question 7. In the Disney Plus series, what is the name of Bruce Banner's lawyer cousin that receives his powers due to coming in contact with his blood?
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. That is right. But her real name is Jennifer Walters. So Bruce Banner's cousin, Jennifer Walters, becomes She-Hulk. Round number 4. The category is soft drinks. Thank you to Finn for this idea. Thanks, Finn. Question 1. What is the oldest soft drink in America? Question 2. Allen and Wright were the 2 founders of what soft drink company? Question 3. What was the first soft drink to be consumed in outer space? Question 4. What flavor was the 1980s Hubba Bubba soft drink? Question 5. What color is a traditional can of 7-Up? Question 6. Bratz Drink was the original name for what popular soft drink? Question 7. What brand of fruit-flavored soft drink comes in over 200 flavors worldwide? Round 4 answers. Question 1. What is the oldest soft drink in America?
Fanta.
Not a bad guess. The answer is Dr. Pepper. First sold in 1885 at Morrison's Old Corner Drugstore in Waco, Texas. Dr. Pepper is the oldest drink in America.
Wow.
You love Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
And Pepsi and Coke
You
and
just-
everything that is
We don't let you drink pop very often, and when we do, you love it. So that's another question. I know in America, we call soft drinks all kinds of different things. Some people call it soda. We call it pop. And I know in some parts of the country, they refer to all soft drinks as Coke, regardless of what kind it is. So you would go to a store and say, I would like a Coke. And then they'd say, what kind? And you'd say Dr. Pepper. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Question 2. Allen and Wright were two founders of which soft drink company?
I just had to say the Wright brothers.
The answer, so their names were Allen and Wright, and they founded A&W Root Beer.
Thank you.
You love root beer. Thank you. Question 3. What was the first soft drink to be consumed in outer space?
I don't know, cream soda.
That's a random guess. Coca-Cola. In July of 1985, Coca-Cola became the first soft drink consumed in outer space. It was enjoyed by astronauts aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger, who sipped the soda from a specifically designed space can.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. I bet they were happy to have, something other than water or whatever you drink in a space shuttle.
I wonder if they drink milk on a space shuttle.
I don't know. Maybe it would probably have to be like a very special kind of can or container or something. Question 4. What flavor was the 1980s Hubba Bubba soft drink? Bubblegum.
Oh, I thought this round was about pop.
It is. There was in the 1980s, Hubba Bubba Gum made a Hubba Bubba bubble gum flavored soda. Gross. Maybe it was good. I don't know.
Yuck.
I was around in the 80s and I don't ever remember drinking bubblegum pop. So I don't know. Question 5. What color is a traditional can of 7-Up?
Like green.
It is green. Do your parents remember that commercial from the 90s where the guy had a shirt on that it said make 7 on the front and it said up yours on the back? You probably don't get it, but the parents, I'm sure, will remember it. Question 6. Brad's Drink was the original name for what popular soft drink?
I have no idea.
Yeah, this is a hard one. The answer is Pepsi. In 1898, Caleb Davis Bradham made Brad's Drink, now known as Pepsi, in his North Carolina drugstore. I think Pepsi's a better name than Brad's Drink.
Yeah.
Although if there was a Casey's Drink, I would think that was very cool.
But they're never going to have
They're never going to have that. What? Well, maybe. Maybe I should try to come up with something. Question 7. What brand of fruit-flavored soft drink comes in over 200 flavors worldwide?
Sunkist or Fanta?
It is Fanta. So I was looking at some of the weirdest flavors of Fanta worldwide, and here are some that made the top 10 list. Lychee, birch beer, peach, banana, chocolate orange, and milk. Milk flavored Fanta. Gross. But can you imagine? Yeah, right. Could you imagine banana flavored too? I do like banana popsicles, but banana flavored pop I feel like would be about as good as bubblegum flavored pop. Round number 5. The category is sports around the world. Thank you to Australian listener Darren for the idea. Thank you, Darren. Question 1. What sport has defensive positions named gully, silly mid-off, and deep mid-wicket? Question 2. Thank you to listeners Jasmine and Gabriella, also from Australia, for this one. Thank you. What sport is similar to basketball, except there is no dribbling, no running with the ball? You play with 7 players. The ball has to be passed within 3 seconds. The ball and basket are slightly smaller, and there is no backboard. Question 3. What game is played by 2 opposing teams with the objective of scoring using a long-handled wooden mallet to hit a small hard ball through the opposing team's goal while on horseback? Question 4. In which combat sport that takes place in a dohyo is salt traditionally used as part of a purification ritual before a match? Question 5. If you're using a broom to guide the rock to the house while playing on ice, what winter team sport are you playing? Question 6. What game is somewhat similar to American football, except no helmets or pads are worn? The ball must be thrown backward. There can be no blocking. And when you are tackled, you have to purposefully fumble the ball. Question 7. Thank you to Ellie and Addie for this idea. Thank you, girls. In what sport would you hear the terms axel, sow cow, lutz, and loop? And now the answers to round number 5. Question 1. What sport has defensive positions named gully, silly mid-off, and deep mid-wicket?
I have no idea.
Have you heard of cricket?
Yes.
The answer is cricket. So when I was going over these, I was trying to understand how the sports work. And cricket, you hit. So the person who bats the ball is called the bowler, I think, or the person who pitches the ball is called the bowler. And then you have to run between wickets, and I don't know. I was confused, but the answer is cricket. Question 2. What sport is similar to basketball, except there is no dribbling, no running with the ball? There are 7 players. The ball is passed within 3 seconds, and the ball and basket are slightly smaller. There is also no backboard, and the players are designated to certain areas.
I have no idea.
The answer is netball. So when I was looking up what netball was, it said this is similar to basketball. But then as I was going through it, with no dribbling, no running with the ball, 7 players, ball passed within 3 seconds, I was like, how is this similar? Everything sounds different. But if you think about it, you know, you're passing the ball, but it has to be within 3 seconds, and you're shooting the ball into a smaller hoop, but there's no backboard. So this is called netball instead of basketball. Question 3. What game is played by 2 opposing teams with the objective of scoring using a long-handled wooden mallet to hit a small hard ball through the opposing team's goal while on horseback?
No idea.
So it's kind of like croquet on horses, kind of. It's called polo. Have you heard of polo?
I've heard of Marco Polo.
That's true. You have heard of Marco Polo. So yeah, polo, they have a long mallet sort of thing, like a croquet stick. You've played croquet, right? So your stick has to be really long to reach the ground when you're on a horse. And you have to try to make your horses not run into each other. And you try to hit the ball through the net. And I've never seen a polo match, but I bet it's interesting.
Yeah.
Question 4. In what combat sport that takes place in a dohyo is salt traditionally used as part of a purification ritual before a match?
I am not going to be good at any of these.
The answer is sumo.
I know a sumo wrestle. Me and my sister do that.
So before a bout is like what they call a match, sumo wrestlers sometimes throw salt. This custom began as a ritual to cleanse the dohyo, which is considered a sacred place. So have you ever seen them before a sumo match? They sort of like get down and they like stomp one leg and stomp the other, and then they kind of like throw something behind themselves, I think. They're throwing salt to cleanse the area before they have their match.
And they're supposed to be very fat.
They are usually very large gentlemen, yes. Question 5. If you are using a broom to guide the rock to the house while playing on ice, what winter team sport are you playing?
Hockey.
The answer is curling. Have you ever seen curling before? It's sort of like shuffleboard. You've played shuffleboard, right? Where you like throw the little puck down the lane to land in like the scoring area.
Yeah.
That's sort of like what curling is, except they're pushing this puck-shaped rock, and then there's somebody that has a broom type thing that is sweeping the ice in front of the rock to make the ice smoother so that the rock moves to a certain place or goes faster or slower. It's all like very precise.
I thought it was one of those games that older people play, and it's like that like stick with like the thing.
Right, that is right. That is shuffleboard on wood. Yep, you're right. That is shuffleboard. Curling is similar to that. They're trying to get it to a certain scoring area, but it's done on ice.
Oh.
I think it's really fun. It's really popular in Canada, I know, and somewhere in the US too. Question 6. What game is somewhat similar to American football, except no helmets or pads are worn? The ball must be thrown backwards. There can be no blocking, and when you are tackled, you have to purposefully fumble the ball. Rugby.
No idea what that is.
It is real aggressive. Like rugby players, I think, are some of the toughest athletes ever. So it's like football. They run into each other and they tackle each other, and there's like they get into a huddle called a scrum, but they're not wearing pads or helmets or anything, and it is quite a game, but it is super, super popular. Question 7. In what sport would you hear the terms axel, sow cow, lutz, and loop? This is a tough one for you. Ice skating. So axel, sow cow, lutz, and loop are the different types of jumps. So you could do like a triple sow cow, and that's 3 turns in the sow cow type of jump.
Oh.
So what did you think of that category?
Crazy.
Real hard, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to watch some more international sports instead of just the regular American ones, huh?
Yeah.
And now it's time for the final exam. Now remember, you've heard these questions in the previous rounds, but these were the hardest ones we've had. So use your memory and try to think back to what the answers are. Question 1. What sport has defensive positions named gully, silly mid-off, and deep mid-wicket?
Cricket.
Question 2. What type of deer are the only ones where females regularly grow antlers like the males?
Caribou or reindeer?
Question 3. Discovered by Alexander Fleming, what medicine is used to treat infections and is considered one of the most important discoveries in the field of medical science?
Penicillin.
Question 4. Brad's drink was the original name for what popular soft drink?
Pepsi.
Question 5. If you're using a broom to guide the rock to the house while playing on ice, what winter team sport are you playing?
Curling.
Question 6. Thor's hammer is made from the metal of a dying what?
Star.
Question 7. The prints of what part of a gorilla's body are as unique as human fingerprints?
Their nose.
That's the end.
I can't decide if I want to say yay or boo.
Yeah. Well, I see. Because you had a great time. You learned a lot about new things.
Yeah.
Great. We got some birthday shout outs. Happy birthday this week to listener Claire. Happy birthday, Claire.
Happy birthday.
And also another birthday to listener Adelaide. Happy birthday, Adelaide.
Happy birthday.
Hope you guys have awesome days. All right, we will leave you with this conversation starter. If you could make the ultimate sandwich, what would be on it?
Normal standard stuff.
Thanks for listening. Have a great
Bacon.
week. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Trivia for Kids Podcast. And if you have a question idea or even an entire category, please email us at triviaforkidspodcast@gmail.com.